Angry guy here, and women are being robbed by Chads and Tyrones as men laugh from the sidelines. Women are being robbed by Chads and Tyrones as men laugh from the sidelines. I mean, guys, nothing lasts forever. Let's just go ahead and jump into the first video.
Is this handsome, fit guy the new Tinder swindler? Remember Simon Leviev, the subject of a Netflix documentary featuring women who all say he conned them out of more than $500,000 combined?
I want to clear my name. I want to say to the world, this is not true.
Now meet Rob Harris. Real estate agent Christina LaBarbiera saw his profile on the dating app Hinge and quickly swiped right.
What was it about the profile that made you interested?
Well, first off, everything's about how attractive, right? If you're attracted to someone at first. And also I saw he was in real estate, dog lover.
2 weeks later, they went on their first date at an upscale seafood restaurant in New York City.
What was the date like?
It was laughter. I mean, we were there for like 5 hours, and we just drove around the city afterwards.
Things moved quickly, and by 4 months, they were talking about moving to Miami together.
He wants to be down there, I want to be down there. So I said, listen, if this did progress, it's something I would be open to.
That's when Rob started asking Christina for money. If you can send me $7,500, I'll extend our Airbnb spot. I'll have $10,000 cash for you when you get here.
I'll pay you back. I'm like, okay, why would he not?
But she says he didn't pay her back, and he kept asking for more. I have to put the deposit on the yacht for our real estate networking event. Can you Zelle me $8,300? Which she did. And then this. I need you to Apple Pay me like $5K. I lost all my blank. I don't have my wallet, my ID, anything. Blanked up situation. I love you so much. Then came the biggest red flag of all. In text messages Christina shared with us, Rob told her he had been pulled over by police and arrested on an outstanding warrant and needed bail money. Do you or anyone you know have $12,106 in cash? Here's the receipt from her wire transfer.
I know even as you tell this story today, you must understand how to the audience you sound so gullible.
Yeah, I get that, but they weren't in it. He exploited me, essentially. Everything. It was targeted. It was 4 months before he started asking for money. He knew what he was doing.
All told, how much money did he get from you?
$71,000.
$71,000.
Yep.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
There must have been somewhere along the way, maybe in the $30,000 mark, where you said, there's a red flag going up here.
I started to get, I did start to get nervous. But again, you think that you can trust the person that you're supposedly going to spend the rest of your life with.
You think you'll ever see your $70,000?
No, probably not, but it will be a great day when I can see him doing the walk in handcuffs.
Guys, it's pretty interesting. Women do this type of thing to men all the time. We don't even end up on Inside Edition. We would be doing the walk of shame. Oh wow, look at you. You got, you gave this girl that money. I mean, what did you expect? You're a grown man. And of course, there are going to be the Sims in the comments who are immediately saying this guy is terrible. Bro, look at what happened. This is the reality of it, where it just takes a guy with a pretty face, because if it was a normal guy, she would be taking advantage of him, should be using him for this money. But because it's a Chad, she does this. Guys, this is the reason why we say this all the time. Chad does not pay for anything. Chad gets everything for free. Chad gets everything for free, and that's the absolute reality. She could have stopped at any time. She chose not to because her lizard brain was in complete and utter control. While if it was you, you would be the one that would be taken advantage of. Men have to wake up and realize that nothing lasts forever, and it was, it's been a long time coming for guys to wake up and say, you know what, yeah, this isn't going to work for me. I'm not going to allow myself to be taken advantage of. I'm not going to be a part of the system, the systematic point of society where men are just used for their utility and then discarded. And it's not just Chad. Tyrone is out here doing this too. I mean, guys, the reality is that nothing lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever. And women chose this for themselves. They made very bad decisions. They chose to run around with Tyrone. They chose to run around with Chad. They chose this life, and now they want people to feel sorry for them. They want society to feel sorry for them. They want someone to come and bail them out. And I'm telling you, like, this has been happening for way, way too long. Way, way too long. Men are watching from the sidelines. Men are kicking up their heels. They're laughing because it's just the reality of things. It is the 100% of reality of things that women have chose this for themselves. Men are walking away from Western society, walking away from relationships in Western society, choosing to just focus on themselves, their own happiness, the relationship with God. They're getting their money, they're making enough to survive and thrive, but they're not making it, but they're not working. They're like crazy hours so they can go and support a wife and a family and kids. And the craziest thing about this is that this approach ultimately is going to lead to a lot of men becoming very wealthy, because you have guys who go out there and then try to strive to make $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 a year, and then in reality life. They're living lives that are not even in the range of some guy who is single making $50,000 a year. I'm not messing around. I'm not joking around. There's a lot of men right now making $200,000 a year with wife and kids, and he doesn't even have a place. He doesn't have PlayStation 5. Doesn't have time to play PlayStation 5, has no free time. His wife is making his life absolutely miserable. His children don't even appreciate the sacrifices that he's making for them. The world absolutely detests him. And it's like, and then you have a guy who's making 50K a year, who basically works from home or doesn't have to work very hard to make that money and enjoys the work that they do. They're only working 40 hours a week, and they spend most of their time just sleeping, eating, pooping, playing video games. Life is good for them. Life is great. Life is grand. They have over $100,000 in the bank. They have that, and that money is between it's really divided between savings and crypto and stock market, and all their disposable income. They're just gambling it away, gambling it into the stocks, gambling it into crypto, putting some of it in real estate. These guys don't really care if they lose all of the money or not. They're not going to, because their living expenses are so low. There was a message I got from one guy, a comment from one guy who said that he makes $70,000 a year over, and he lives in Texas. He makes $70,000 a year, and it was pretty interesting. He could make more than that. He could make over 100K. But he doesn't. But the truth of the matter is that he has no wife, he has no children, so he's not worrying about those things. He doesn't have to worry about those things, and women don't understand just how messed up, how much they messed up, how much as we like to call it, how screwed the pooch, because men have finally just walked away and they're realizing, yeah, I don't have to take care of you, I don't have to provide for you, I don't have to do any of these things. I can live a comfortable, carefree life without having to worry about you and anything else, because I don't owe you anything. This is the clear attitude of men right now. Like, think about this. This guy's making $70,000 a year. $70,000 a year. And he's saying, well, I don't have to do any of these things. He's basically saving all of that money. Every single bit of that money right now, he is saving. That money is going into his pocket, is going into the bank account. He's spending $1,000 a month to rent a room. He has his gaming PC and video games and everything else. He said, sure, he has roommates, but he doesn't have any crazy expenses. So think about that, guy. $70K a month. All of the rest of that money, what? Crypto. I mean, he has all the video games he wants. Crypto, stocks, whatever. You do this for like 2-3 years, and between your savings and your investments, you have hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank. And the money just keeps on growing, and your living expense is very, very low. If at some point you decide to go into real estate, again, the money just keeps on growing, but you have no wife, you have no kids. So again, it's like, and then of course there are women who will say, well, yeah, guess what? That money's not going to do anything for you. All right. You don't have anything. You have no wife, you have no children. So, you can't take it with you, and they'll start spouting off all kinds of nonsense. But the truth is, these women, they don't realize that they're going to live for another 30 years, 30, 40 years. And a lot of them are going to live and end up in poverty, and they're like, basically, these men who have all of this money, what will eventually end up happening was these guys will just stop working. because 30 million men have already dropped out of the workforce. So a lot of these guys that are making this money, that are single and making this money, and they're just putting it in the bank and putting it in investments, they're just going to drop out of the workforce. Like that's why I've said that, like, the next target for Western, for like, for the people who run our world, like our country, they're going to start targeting our bank accounts. They're going to start targeting our investments, because that's really it. As men are just like chilling and staying single, they're going to say, okay, so these men have all of this money in the bank, all of this money in savings, and this money is not going into the economy. How do we get access to this money? And it's hard. It's really, really hard to get access to this money, unless you start passing policies to just go after it and take it, or to tax it harder. And then that becomes very difficult to do, because if you tax that money, then you're going to have to tax the millionaires and the billionaires even harder. So yeah, it just becomes really, really insane. It becomes it becomes absolutely insane, and it's because, like, the more you go after men, the more men just downsize. Like someone said this really well. He said that the average man could live happily in a shoebox at the side of the road. And it's absolutely true. Men don't need a lot to survive. And if you start to take everything away from men, if you start going after men who've walked away and their assets, then it's like it just shows that, like, oh, you don't know, you have nothing. I mean, that's like, it's essentially, that's worse than, it's almost worse than being a property. Women created the system for themselves, and they thought that everything, they were going to get away with it. And then simps, the simps are complete jokers. These guys have no value to society or themselves, and they're the first ones to go. Guys, if you're enjoying the content, help get the channel to 100,000 subscribers on our journey to 2 million by subscribing to the channel if you already haven't, liking the video, and turning on notifications to never miss another video ever again. Women are being taken advantage of by Chads and Tyrones as men laugh from the sidelines. What do you guys think about this? I want to hear your thoughts on this, so let's talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.